Pisces, let's go, baby. I gave you a reading only yesterday. I filmed your last reading and it was about the paradoxical love. So you're lucky I'm back again. That reading was so fabulous. It spoke about a really profound spiritual activity that I haven't seen in any other reading, to the point where you had a dream, a vision. You knew that this environment, this space that you had been to or seen, was actually somewhere you had already been to and seen. Your two realities across space-time were coming together and becoming one. It was hella synchronistic, hella empowering, and shocking. As a reader, to see that, I couldn't leave the reading. I didn't want to leave. And I knew that wherever you were, you didn't want to leave that space and that vision. Very profound. So I'm going to dig in today. I've got the emoji cards out, so it's a special day when the emojis are out. High energy, high vibes, a lot to be said. First things first, though, I'm going to grab a little bit of a story from the foundation of it all. Two sides of energy, okay? I could be dealing with someone who's diagnosed with bipolar. Just putting that out there. It doesn't matter if you've got any mental health conditions or not. And bipolar is really just a spiritual gift and ability that hasn't been totally balanced and transmuted well enough, in my opinion. And the clinical world will tell you there's something wrong with you, but the truth of the matter is you just haven't learned how to really govern those gifts and abilities yet in line with the new world. Let's just say it like that and keep moving. If you would like to know more about spiritual gifts and abilities and their alignment to mental health, because you do have a mental health diagnosis and you are taking medication for it and you do believe it is a problem in your life, then feel free to reach out to me and I'll share some more information with you, or I'll put some content out if you write a message in the comments, just so you know you are not alone and that mental health is a real thing, but spiritual gifts are also a thing and they can account for absolutely any condition in the DSM. Yeah. Yin and yang, light and dark, that is bipolar there. Spectrum, anything on a spectrum, that is bipolar. That's the polarities, that's opposing views, that's the opposites. That's also cognitive dissonance, right? But once again, the institution will not tell you that because they are not that well inept, because not enough people believe in spirit and God and everyone believes in the science of the situation. I personally study both science and spirituality, which allows me to see all these things. I am also clairvoyant and incredibly gifted, so I am providing true insight on the situation. Let me tell you about, if you're not bipolar, then people say that you are as a joke. You know, everyone's like, oh my gosh, you're so bipolar. Oh my gosh, you're such a Gemini. Oh, typical Pisces, right? All of those kind of comments as well. It's just suggestive that there's two sides to you, because I'm looking at the water of a situation and the air of a situation. Sometimes you go into work or you're moving it forward, or moving, I want to say moving in, so you could be moving in somewhere new. But there's all this loving, emotional, compassionate, cuddly, sweet energy. Other times you're a cold, ruthless, heartless bitch, right? You need to do both, yeah? And that's what makes me get the ick about this world and about the scientific institution, is because you're allowed to be loving and cuddly and sweet, and in the same breath be, or the next day in the afternoon, be a bitch. Like, oh, I don't want to cuddle and a kiss anymore. No, fuck off, get out of my way. Energy shifts, time shifts. There is no rule about when you can be loving and when you can be cold and how many minutes per second you have to stick to the same energy. If you're fluid and in flux and just living your life energetically, you are going to shift through mood and emotion. Some people do that quicker than others. Some people still stay dry and stagnant and don't have any range in their personality. Because you've got range in your personality, supposedly you're not all there, you're not all the ticket. Bollocks. That's not true. Not only that, I'm looking at someone in your life, right? You could have a child, someone younger than you, a brother, a sister, a sibling. They're very similar to you as well. They're also very cold, very cutting. Could be someone you work with who's younger than you as well. You've taken on like a younger brother or sister at work, someone younger than you that you mentor at work. And they're passionate and fiery. They're real goal-getters as well. But they're either really passionate and gung-ho at work or in life, and then they're just really cold and laid back and don't bother doing anything. I see that here. I see you really, really emotional and then no emotions whatsoever. Really loving, cuddling, affectionate, supporting everyone, and then zero. That's fine, that's normal. You're patiently waiting, yeah? You've been patiently waiting to get to where you want to be in life. And every now and then, when you don't get to where you want to be in life and you don't feel safe, you close off and you pull back because you're trying to manage your energy. Sometimes in situations you give off too much energy and you move too quickly. And as a result, you get burnout. And that's why you're cold and resilient and you're pulling back, because you don't want to experience burnout. And actually, some of you are missing an ex, a father figure, someone that you love and care about, and you just miss them. And they're not around anymore. And sometimes you're not happy about that. Someone could have lost a parent during COVID. A dad who passed of COVID, I see here. Which is absolutely fine. You haven't got to be loving and sweet all the fucking time. Especially in today's society, and especially if you're a female. Because everyone's always expecting the female to be the loving feminine, to always provide. And, oh, let's give her some flowers. And, oh, she's going to kiss and cuddle and rub my feet after work and make everything better. It's like, motherfucker, no. Rub your own fucking feet. I've got shit to do today. I'm not in a good mood. I miss my dad. He's not here anymore. I've had enough. I don't feel great. I'm not in a good place. That's allowed. We're allowed. You know? Also sexual frustrations here. Also keeping up appearances. Acting like everything's okay when you're not. Keeping the house clean. I see someone with a little daughter. Once again, I said a younger sibling or a child. Now I see a daughter coming through. Daughter's got similar personalities to you because she takes after you. And if you're diagnosed with mental health, or you're going through a phase right now where you're questioning your mental health or well-being, and your daughter mirrors you in behaviour, so you're thinking, oh, if I am not very well, and they say I've got mental health illness or something like that, then now my daughter's got it. Or my daughter's picking up that behaviour. Your daughter's fine. She's flary, she's saucy, she's got a personality like you, got a stink attitude like you, saucy, snapping her fingers like you. Good for her. She's learning from the best. There ain't nothing wrong with you. Yeah? You're trying to get this checked because I think your partner wants you to get your mental health checked or your well-being checked before you move forward, because you're talking about marriage and wanting a ring, wanting to settle down in a relationship, and you feel like this is going to be a blockage in your relationship, or he's already said your anger and the way that you just switch up like this, you're crazy, man. It's not normal. You need to get yourself checked, all of that kind of energy. So with all of this kind of stuff going on, you're going to get yourself checked just to make sure that you're all right and to know how you're going to move forward in your relationship. I feel like he said, I'm not willing to just move forward without knowing for sure if where your mental health's at. Has he had a mental health check? Because he suppresses all of his emotions and he's grown up in a family where they show no range in emotions and they're cold as stone. He can get away with it. Suggests he's got more mental problems than you, to be fair. But I'm a bitch, so don't take that seriously. But I mean, I'm sticking up for you. I'm like, fuck this. Like, it's not true. You're an intuitive, smart-ass woman finding yourself in this lifetime, trying to boss up, trying to raise a child, trying to level up in your career, trying to live without good quality sex. The thing is, I want to be such a bitch right now. I feel like I'm talking to one of my friends like when I do these readings. Like, but the thing is, he wants to pipe up and chat shit like, nah, first of all, you need to get your mental health checked. Nah, you're moving crazy. It's too much, blah, blah, blah. I just want you to get your health checked so we can see if we can move forward. Stop talking about marriage until you get your mental health checked. Can you get your dick checked? Can you get your dick enlarged then? Because I'm waiting for my appointment with a psychiatrist. But the truth of the matter is, are you going to get a dick enlargement? Are you going to get a way to improve your sexual performance? Car, that's a problem for me. Do you see how lovely women are? Sitting there taking the brunt of it. No wonder you're frustrated. You're not even getting good quality dick. How can you be nice to someone who's giving you gyp and giving you problems and you can't even get an orgasm? Oh, what an awful life to be living. I would be fucking mentally ill too. Which you're not. But if they want to say that, we fucking play. You want to call me mentally ill? Fucking hell. Let's do it then, bitch. I'll act it. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, fucking hell. There's so many other reasons for why we behave in the ways in which we do, which isn't related to clinical mental health and mental illness. It's not, okay? Everyone operates differently on a spectrum, and mental health is a real thing. We need to look after it, and we need to look after our well-being. But the diagnosis, so it helps a lot of people. It does. I know a load of people with diagnosis who feel great, and they go on meds, they feel amazing. But the truth of the matter is, and my specialty is a long list of stuff, but it is about understanding the spiritual element of who you are and the different clear senses that you have that account for why you behave in the way in which you do. Because I'm clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient, all these different gifts. So are you. You have different abilities. Yeah, clear hearing, clear smelling, clear sensing, clear seeing, clear knowing, clear cognizance, all these different things that help you know and wake up and be aware of who you really are. And they're at such micro fibers, such micro levels that you wouldn't even believe that it's a real thing. You just assume, oh, I'm not well, I'm mentally ill, I'm having another crazy moment. You're hearing all these thoughts in your head. Sometimes that shit's telepathy. That's family and friends. I can open my WhatsApp message, suddenly want to cry, don't know why, I'm overwhelmed, I feel depressed as fuck. Go and click, then I go and look at who's messaged me, I click on it, I open it, and straight away, I can tell who it is from who's in my inbox. And then I can quickly click on it and call them and say, what's going on? You're crying right now? You're depressed? What's happened? They'll tell me straight away. When I first started to activate my spirituality, I would know straight away, immediately, anyone in my circle, what was going on with them. I would suddenly come over feeling emotional, overwhelmed, and depressed, or like something bad's happened. I quickly just knew who it was. I'll call them. What's going on? They'd be like, oh my God, Louise, I wasn't going to say anything, but this just happened. Oh my God. One time, I woke up in the middle of the night, 2 a.m. I was in bed shaking, having fits. Like, it wasn't my energy. Normal people would think, oh my God, I'm fitting. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? In the moment, I knew I was in someone else's energy, 2 a.m. in the morning. I Google fits, and it says alcohol withdrawal. Straight away, I knew it was my dad, because my dad was an alcoholic. I haven't spoken to my dad in months. He'd been blowing me up on Facebook. I've been airing him because he used to get on my nerves all the time because he used to act like a drunk nutcase. So in that breath, 2 a.m, ain't spoken to my dad in like 2.5 months. I call him at 2 a.m. in the morning. I would never fucking do that, but I'm fitting out in my bed at home. I said, Dad, what are you doing? What's going on? He's like, I don't know, I've taken too much drugs, I feel sick, I'm vomiting. I said, you're fitting out right now. No, I'm alright. My dad was wasted, gone, vomiting all over the place, fitting out. First of all, when I first picked up, he's like, oh, I'm sleeping. I said, don't fucking lie. You're not sleeping, don't fucking lie. What are you doing? Have you taken drugs? Yeah. What have you taken? Loads of stuff. Imagine. Any normal person who doesn't know spirituality and doesn't know their gifts would believe that they have woken up and they are fitting and that something's wrong with them physically. Then they would then go to the GP. The GP would say nothing is wrong with you, and they will go about their day wondering what the fuck that weird night was that they had. But spiritualist who studies it and is aware of it has a deeper understanding and context of spirit and other telepathy and how we're all connected energetically. I knew it was my dad. I knew to Google it, saw it was alcohol problems, know that I'm an empath, highly sensitive person, know I pick up on energy, call my dad. My dad is fucked. My dad has nearly overdosed. I then go, I'm at uni at this time, I'm like in my second year of uni. I then, in that moment, I go online, I order a train ticket to Bedford. The next morning, I'm up at 7 a.m, heading straight up. I said, I'm coming to you tomorrow morning. I didn't even fucking like the man. Half the time, we argued all the fucking time. Well, not really argued, but I just didn't bother with him. It was just, he was an alcoholic. I wasn't happy about it. He was in prison for years of my life. I was very sad and disappointed in him as a father. That day, I went up there. I took him. I said, I actually act like the parent. Took him straight to A&E. Said, meet me at the station. I'm going to get in at 8:30. Be there. As soon as he came, he's like, what's going on? You all right? I said, I know what you done last night. We're going straight to A&E. I took him to A&E and I said, tell the people what happened last night. Tell him, because I'm not leaving here. I didn't come all the way to Bedford to deal with this shit. Tell the nurse what the fuck he did last night. My dad then reveals he's what he's been doing and the alcohol and drugs he's been taking. We then had to go and sit down with an official person to get him a psychological evaluation, and he's binging on alcohol and a range of drugs. He nearly overdosed that night that I felt him. My dad is now passed away. Less than 2 years later, he killed himself and overdosed on heroin. It's a very sad story. It still makes me sad to this day. But if I didn't go through that experience with my dad, and I didn't sit down with a nurse with him and he shared his whole life story, all the drugs he's been taking, why he's been doing this, how depressed he is, how sad he is, what's going on in his life, him feeling like it's pointless for him to be on this planet, it woke me up. It changed my life. It changed my relationship with my dad, and ever since that day, me and my dad started to have an amazing relationship, and I made space for him, and I loved him, and he loved me, and we had a really, really good relationship. Unfortunately, It was 5 days after my nan's funeral. And he was broken. He only ever had his mum to support him through all the struggles in his life. So he decided to take his own life. And the spirit told me, Louise, you already saved him once before. Because he was near death when you called him that day and you took him to A&E the next day. He was nearly dead then. And you saved him, you kept him going for 2 more years. But when someone wants out, somebody wants out. You know? So it's a sad situation, a sad story that I share that with you guys. But I do want you to understand, look at that fucking miraculous story. After that, my dad didn't stop calling me a witch. He's like, we then went to his probation officer because I said, does your probation officer know that you're an alcoholic and you take drugs? And he said, no. Because I told her I drink 1 drink a day. My dad drinks about 10 drinks a day and mixes it with a cocktail of pills and drugs and whatever else he can get his hands on. So I forced him forced him into probation, sat with him in probation, and forced the probation officer to hear him and know the truth and get him some help. And after that, he was like, I'm so sorry, I would never tell you this, but my daughter's a witch and she's forcing me here. He just kept calling me a witch. He's like, how's my witchy poo doing? What is my witch daughter doing now? He loved it. And he was so grateful that I saved him that day because he would never tell me the truth. God makes miraculous things happen. So you have to believe in yourself. And if you're hearing negative thoughts about yourself, you're crazy. Like this is the truth. And the Spirit's given me this clear as day for this feminine I'm connecting with. If you have a voice in your head, that is saying, you're crazy, you psycho bitch, you're crazy, you're not well, you're such an annoying bitch, you're a psycho, man. I'm so sorry to break the news to you, So sorry. That's not you. That's not even your inner critic. That's the man that you're with. Because when you're chilling out watching TV and he's next to you, beside you, unfortunately, you're telepathic and you don't know it. And that's the shit that's running on his brain about you. You're hearing his thoughts. I don't want to send you crazy because someone understanding their telepathy who's never understood it before and me telling you that, you're going to start thinking the worst kind of kinds and thinking, is that me? Is that him? Da-da-da-da-da. Is this real? Like, could he really be saying that about me? I don't want you to lose the plot, because I definitely did when I first started realising that telepathy is real and that you could hear the transmission of thoughts back and forth. But the divine is making it clear to me, it ain't you. It's not even your inner critic. Sometimes your inner critic will come through and say some really hurtful stuff. Like, you're not good enough. You can't do that. Like, you'll beat yourself down with that devil voice we have in our heads. We all have the ego and the angel, the devil and the angel in our heads. But I'm telling you, his energy is transmitting on you. Like, I don't even want to be rude, but I would leave him. I've been a bitch lately in the last week and a bit. I'm like, leave your man, leave your woman, man. They're fucking up your spiritual ascension. They don't even love you. They're saying negative shit about you in their head, and you can hear it and you think it's fucking you. That's where I'm at. And I hate it because I'm alone and I know what it means to be lonely and alone, and I don't want that for anyone else. But I also know why I chose to do it, and it was so I'm not around other energies that are transmitting and giving me low vibrations. I'm highly sensitive. I've just shared a story with you that seems to be highly unrealistic, that I can wake up in the middle of the night and know that. And that's not the only instance that I've done that. I've done that in many different contexts, in many different ways, for many different people. When I have people coming to my house for readings and stuff like that in the past, it would always be a situation of, before they've even arrived, I've received something interesting, or I've had an experience with my own body and my own energy. Suddenly, I'm waking up and I want to eat chocolate. Don't ever eat that chocolate in my life. Don't like it, but it's the most delicious thing I ate in my life. When they come to my house, the first thing I'll ask is, did you eat this chocolate last night? You ate this chocolate for breakfast this morning? They say, yes. I said, because I fucking hate that chocolate, but that's all I could think about all morning was eating that chocolate, and I was so excited about it. And in my life, I would never fucking eat that. I knew it was your energy. So suddenly I've woken up and I've gone for a 2-mile run. I'm a fat bitch. Why would I be going for a 2-mile run? I ain't running a year and a half. I know who's coming to my house has just gone for a 2-mile run this morning, or loves to run 2 miles. As soon as they come to my house, did you go for a 2-mile run this morning? Yeah, you did. Okay. Fabulous. Confirmation. Knew it wasn't fucking me, because I'm too fucking lazy for a 2-mile run. But thank you so much, because my heart probably needed that. Probably was going to keel over and die without that 2-mile run that you gave me. Do you see how energy transcends? It is a real thing. So what does that say about mental health then? I'm going to leave that with you. So whatever diagnosis you get or whatever information comes back to you from whatever you're doing, you could just be going to therapy like that. But I feel like someone's partner has been nagging them to go and get a check because they say, no, you're crazy, no, your behaviour's not right. It's been their behaviour's not right. When's the last time they've opened up emotionally? When has the last time they've given you any real range in emotion? Have they ever cried? Have they ever said anything emotional or to you? Anything ever loving to you? Like, do you think that they feel great about the level of sex that you do or don't have, or that it's bait that they don't fulfill you sexually? Are these conversations that you even have? No, I don't think so. Does this person take a lot of drugs as well? I feel like we're dealing with someone who takes a lot of drugs. Do you badger them about the drugs that they take? Steroids, uppers, gym enhancers, gym performance enhancers, stuff like that. Do you judge them for that? Because they need to get their self-esteem checked. I'm not trying to be fuckery, but they need to get their self-esteem checked then. And their well-being checked. Because they're just like, oh, I need to do this, I need to take all these drugs, and I need to go and take all of these protein and whey and all of this stuff. But you can't even keep your dick up. So, I'm not judging you for that. So, the fact that you're going around screaming I'm mental all the time to your friends as well, it's not a cute look. And that's fucking up your well-being. Your well-being is affected by this person in your life because you're giving them the power over your own mental health and well-being. When it's not even you, it's them. So please really reflect on that, Pisces, and know that you deserve better in your life. They don't even deserve to be with you. You deserve to be with someone who doesn't suggest that you're mentally ill and trigger you into going to get checkups when you're absolutely fucking fine. And you deserve to have sex with someone who is good in the bedroom. My goodness. I'm going to leave it there because I want to keep cussing. But they're like, no, hermatologist, keep cussing. I need to hear it. I need this strength. I need to leave this dickhead. That's not my job. That's your job. How long have you been together? Is it working? How many times are you going back and forth getting back together? Do you really want this? Or is it just convenient? I put out a reading for Libra called Saved by Love. There's a really important message in there for you. So go and watch that next. Because what it spoke about was someone who was in a relationship with someone else and in a karmic relationship, and it was just communal living, going about day-to-day life, being with this person. But someone else came into their life and showed them what real love was. Only when you experience what real love is will you wake up and realise, shit, this isn't love. I thought I was in love with this man, but I'm not. I'm not. Sometimes we get so caught up thinking we're in love. You're not in love. It's not even a real relationship. You could have been in it for 8 years. It's not even genuine. You just settled for it because it's convenient and comfortable and it brings money in for both of you. Not a good look. Go and get real love. Go and find out what real love is. When you truly love yourself, you will value yourself high enough to not let anyone near you who really does not love themselves. And this man don't love himself. So how can he really love you? He's just tearing you down psychologically, suggesting that you're mentally ill. In what way is he supporting you other than calling you crazy, telling you need to go to the doctors? I'm out. Go and watch the Libra read. Love you guys. I'll be back soon. Hit the like, subscribe.